New York City in 2021. I've said it before, I'll say it again. If you are still living in these cities, you need to get out now, all right? Over the past couple of days, we have seen just mass amounts of violence, especially against the Jewish community going on in New York City. That is a very short video of some Jews who were taking part of just basically saying, hey, pro-Israel over near Times Square, being just beaten down by Palestinian supporters out there. Of course, who are the ones who remain peaceful through all this? Oh, that's right. It's the ones who are supporting Israel, right? The ones who are violent, well, Palestine, right? It's how it always goes. It's always the ones who are on the left. It's always the ones who are of the, of course, religion of peace, as we like to say, right? It's always them who are the ones who are coming out and creating most of this violence. The Israelis, or the ones who are always being pro-Israel, weren't doing a thing. They were sitting there, they were peacefully protesting, and were attacked just mercilessly by the pro-Palestinian group. And that's not it, right? There was also more going on out there. So you have a case of an explosion, or them throwing a explosive device at a bunch of Jews over in kind of just on the streets of New York. You have people literally just in the streets just being beaten by Palestinian supporters out there. And it's not even just people who are, of course, protesting on behalf of Israel. You also just have people who are over here just trying to enjoy their dinner being assaulted. Just being assaulted by Palestinian supporters. And, I mean, what does this kind of remind you of, right? What does it kind of remind you of? If anything, reminds me of a couple protests that happened just a few months ago where people in restaurants have been harassed and spit upon by people who were marching through the streets, right? It's always in these cities, and it's always the left. You don't see this happening with the right. People, get out of the cities. There's no reason to be there anymore, all right? There is literally no reason to be there. If you notice, listen, those people were assaulting people at a diner, and you notice right there in the corner, cops just coming by. Any arrests made? No arrests were made. Why? Because they know what will happen if they start making arrests. If they start making arrests, it will start making an even bigger scene, because no one there respects the law anymore. No one there respects anything anymore. It's about might makes right. It is the just common phrase on the left at this point, right? That all that matters is power, right? Power is all that matters at this point to these people. There's no principle. There's no principles we're standing upon. They don't believe in the right of peaceably assembling. If they believed in the idea of peaceably assembling, they wouldn't be attacking Jews who are simply peaceably assembling on behalf of Israel. Now, I don't want to get into the whole Israel versus Palestine debate, though I do obviously have my leanings about it, just because this has nothing to do with it. It has literally nothing to do with it. And yeah, they're protesting, but that shouldn't matter here in America. If someone can go out there and wave the communist flag, right? The communist flag. If they can go out there and wave the communist flag and protest and march and do the red salute out there, there is no reason that someone shouldn't be able to fly an Israeli flag. There's no reason they shouldn't be able to support Israel. People are out there marching with Soviet Union flags, right? That's perfectly fine. Someone goes out there with the Israel flag, oh, what do you know? They're attacked in the streets. And this will continue. This is not just going to continue. This isn't just going to end here, right? It's going to continue going forward. And we saw this, right? We saw the beginnings of this over in the UK when they first started having these incidents, and it hasn't improved. We saw this in France. It hasn't improved. We saw it in Canada. It hasn't improved. It's only gotten worse. You had cases in Canada just recently where pro-Palestinian, you could say, protesters were driving down the street talking about how they need to abduct and abuse Jewish daughters, right? I mean, just horrible, horrendous stuff. Right? These people do not care about morals. They do not care about, any sort of civility. They care about power. That's all it is. It's always about power, nothing else. All they want is might makes right. They do not care how they get to their end. The ends will always justify the means to these people, and they will continue to beat people in the streets. And again, you do not see right-wing people doing this. You do not see the Jews doing this. You don't see anyone on the side of Israel doing this. You only see it on pro-Palestine protesters, as well as people who are protesting on behalf of the left. They're the only ones who are going out there and being this violent, who are the only ones who do not respect the right of others to peacefully protest. Again, they were peaceably protesting. They were peaceably protesting. They come out here and then violently beat people and then say, well, we were just protesting. They don't believe in the idea of peaceably protesting. They believe in the idea that whoever has the most power deserves to be in control. It does not matter how you get there. It does not matter about any sort of rules or just simple levels of civility. It only matters about getting to that end. The end will always justify the means to these people. So again, if you have not gotten out of these cities, get out. There's no reason to live there anymore. It's collapsing at an alarming rate. I'm telling you, by next year, we will wish that it goes back to this. All right, it's going to get worse and worse and worse. I was there for a full month just recently. It was awful. People just, and everyone I talked to is trying to get out at this point. If you have not gotten out yet, get out. There's plenty of areas now starting to grow, very quickly over in Texas. Me and my family, we're about to be probably moving out to Tennessee, right? There's plenty of other areas, West Virginia. There's tons of these spots all across the country where there's not a lot of people, where you can avoid all this kind of stuff. And again, be around people who are like-minded for the most part as well, right? Get out of the cities. There's no reason to be there. You need to we need to just let them collapse, let them fall apart the way they need to, and just stay as far back as possible. With that said, again, if you've enjoyed this video, please make sure you like and subscribe. Again, we're on YouTube, BitChute Minds, as well as if you want to follow us on Twitch, BBQ Barnes on Twitch, and we'll see you next time.